Hello everyone. Our lesson today is about the passive voice. Let's begin. We form the passive voice with the verb to be plus past participle, the subject plus to be plus a past participle. Example, the lesson is explained. You see the subject, the verb to be in the present simple, third person singular, is explained, past participle of the verb to explain. It is a regular verb, so we add ed. In the plural, you say the lessons are explained. When do we use the passive? We use the passive voice when, for example, the subject, it means the person who does the action, is not important or is unknown. We don't know who did or who does the action. We use the passive voice. Or when the action and the object are more important than who does or did the action, it means the subject. For example, when you say the lesson is explained, it is not necessary or it is not really important to say who explained it. When we want to say who does or who did the action, we add to the passive sentence, of course, by plus agent. Like the following example. The lesson is explained by the teacher. So you've got here the subject, the verb to be, the past participle, by, and the agent, the teacher. Now, the passive voice with different tenses. We're going to see the passive voice with these four tenses. Number one, the present simple, just like the examples we have seen before. We've got the subject plus the present simple of the verb to be, is, are, or am, depending on the subject, of course, plus the past participle. Example, you say the lessons, and the lessons in the plural, so are written. Written is the past participle of the verb to write. It is an irregular verb. Present perfect. You have the subject, has been or have been, plus the past participle. It means that you conjugate the verb to be in the present perfect and then you add the past participle. So has been or have been plus past participle. Example, the lessons have been written. The lessons have been written. In the singular, you say the lesson has been written. And here you've got the plural, so have been written. Past simple, you give the past form of the verb to be. Was or were. I, he, she, it was. You, they, we, were. So the subject plus was or were plus past participle. The example, the lessons were explained. In the singular, you could say the lesson was explained. And here you've got the plural, so you say were explained. The fourth tense is the future simple. So you give the future form of the verb to be, that is will be, and you add the past participle. Subject, will be, past participle. You say the lessons will be explained. The lessons will be explained. Good. Now, let's study the passive voice with modals or modal verbs. The modal verbs are the following: must, could, should, would, might, can, may, and so on. These modals must be followed by an infinitive. So you put the verb to be in the infinitive. Then you add the past participle. So subject, must or could or one of these modals plus be plus past participle. Look at the example. The classrooms must be cleaned every afternoon. You see, must, then be in the infinitive, then the past participle. You could say could be cleaned, or should be cleaned, or would be cleaned, and so on. So the modal verb is followed by an infinitive. Be in the infinitive, then the past participle. Right? Now let's see how to turn from active voice to passive. Here is an example. The teacher explains the lesson. This is an active sentence in the active voice. You got the teacher, subject, the verb explains, the third person singular, present simple. The lesson is the object of the sentence. You got the subject, the verb explains in the present simple, and the object, it means the lesson. We turn this sentence into the passive. We say the lesson is explained by the teacher. You see, the object of the active voice becomes subject in the passive voice, and the subject of the active voice becomes agent in the passive voice. And of course, the tense is the same. The present simple in the active voice, we should put the verb to be in the present simple in the passive voice. So you have here subject plus be in the present simple, just like in the active voice, then by, then agent. The lesson is explained, is, here is the present simple, is, explained is the past participle, by agent. So I'm going to repeat what I've just said here. So the object of the active sentence becomes subject in the passive sentence, and the subject becomes agent. I've just said that the verb to be is in the same tense of the verb of the active sentence. You see, here we've got the present simple. We should keep the present simple, is explained. Explains, present simple, is the present simple. Good. Now here is an exercise. You turn the following sentences into the passive voice. The first sentence, they built that house last year. Mind the tense here. The boy has broken the plate. We can buy a lot of things online. Governments must protect currencies. They deliver the post every morning. Will correct the exercise. Will correct the exercise. So you've got here different tenses. You've got a modal. Turn them into the passive voice, then check your answers on the next page. And you can also do exercises 1, 2, 3, and 4 on page 82 on the workbook. So this is the end of our lesson. Thank you. See you in the next video.